Call these numbers 773-829-1032 or 612-965-9921 or 773-759-4501. You can also email 98.3 FM WGHC at gmail.com.
This year's Night of the Legend, sponsored and supported by Africa Global Chamber of Commerce, Martins International, Rainbow Push Coalition, Mr. Candy Ghana, Bedu Tax Service, Group Indum, and ISF Bank.
Remember, don't forget, it's Sunday, November 19th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Stan Mansion, 2408 North Kedzie Boulevard. Come and let's support this vision together.
To move forward, African with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. One more, heading up good for this nation to move forward. Come back we can unite, put each man different aside. Why can't we just come together, see some tribal wars and fight? Who knows better us do better? A source of collective insight may not be exposed to education, but surely knows wrong from right. Africans with African pride, fighting to attain our rights. One more, shedding of blood for this nation to move forward.
Hello listeners, this is Senna, your friend, your brother and your neighbor. You call me Alinko. This and every Tuesday between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join me live on WGHC with Progressive Minds. We'll be talking and deliberating on issues that pertains to our community. You can download the TuneIn app and search for WGHC FM to listen to us live. Alternatively, call 563-999-3221. 563-999-3221. This and every Tuesday, we will be seeking to bridge the gap between the old and the new. Join in the conversation as we positively impact on our community. Progressive Minds, to whom much is given, much is required.
Listeners to Progressive Minds, my name is John Dramani Mahama, former president of Ghana. I just want to say hello to all of you, and I hope you enjoyed this entertaining program. Big ups.
Lovely people, it's another Tuesday, it's 8 p.m. and you know that you are on the Progressive Mind Show right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. I always tell you that this is the number one community building show in the entire Midwest and the number one African radio station. It is the only and the first terrestrial dial in the diaspora right now in the Midwest at this moment. Well, you're welcome to the show this evening. We're going to be talking to the Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White. And he's going to be going into diverse of issues regarding driver's license, business licensure, his program, his TWT program, and a whole bunch of issues that you would be interested in. In the course of the show, I will be giving you the phone line so you can ring in and ask him a question or anything that, or say anything that has been bothering your mind that you would wish to ask or you wish to find out from the office of the Secretary of State. Now, tonight's show is a very special edition. So we're now going to give you the sports and health and fitness update. We're going to be going straight into the program and be talking to the Secretary. He is here. If you're watching us live on Facebook, please share the feed. This information will be very important, and so we are encouraging all the Facebook followers to share the feed so that your friends and my friends can benefit from this awesome and special moment of the Progressive Mind Show and the WGHC 98.3 FM. Before we continue, before we begin talking to him, I just wanted to remind you that on the 19th of November, you don't want to miss the second annual Black Tie event of the WGHC organization. Tickets are ready. Tickets are here. If you're watching us live on Facebook, my producer just passed on tickets to me. It's here. Individual tickets are going for $90. And then a table of 8 is going for $600, and then the table of 10 is going for $750. So couples is $150. So you see right there, the more you come, the cheaper it becomes for you. All right. This is to raise funds for the radio station, and part of the contributions or part of the fundraising is going to go to our projects that we're doing in Africa, our humanitarian projects that we're doing with Akamfo Anoche and also Osu Children's Home down in Africa. I think it's in Nungwa. Right, Nungwa. Okay, and then Kolebu Hospital and other charitable organizations that we are supporting. This is your community station, and we are for the people. We are here to uplift, empower, and to develop our community. And so we need your support on the 19th. Do not miss it. Invite a friend to tell a friend so you can attend this show. There's going to be live music. Nana McBrown is coming all the way from Ghana to MC this program. Dorothy Brown, the Honorable Dorothy Brown is going to be there. If all things being equal and all things going well, the Honorable Secretary of State also sitting here would also be there to grace the occasion. So we are working on the details. Hopefully his busy schedule does not prevent him from coming, but tentatively we are looking to have him there. Apart from that, Dr. King and honorable people are going to be there. We are going to be honoring people who are doing excellent work for the community, people who are doing things that are affecting our lives positively. And so please do not miss the 19th of November. It's going to start from 6 to 11 p.m. All right. So we are going to be talking tonight to the Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White. Sir, it's an honor to have you here at our radio station.
Sina, I'm glad to be here.
Brilliant. And today is a blessing for the WGSC organization to have a person of your magnitude to come and sit in this seat, the progressive mind seat, and the seats, and to see what we're doing here at WGHC. I know that it's a blessing, and I think that there are greater things and more things to come after here.
You're absolutely correct. I believe that when we work together, wonderful things happen, and some wonderful things are happening here in your community. And I just want to applaud, commend, and thank you for your giving and caring spirit and for your commitment to making life better for those who make up your community.
Brilliant. And you're still very handsome. Since like I think I saw your picture and I'm like, okay, I've never seen this man before. Now when I see him, is he going to look different from the picture? Now you look very young, younger than the picture that I saw. So I'm really pleased that you are here. Now I'm going to go into a little bit into your background, your biography, so our listeners get to get a feel of who you actually are. But we will not go into all of it because the man has so much rich history and biography and profile. So we will not go into all of it. I'm just going to go touch a little bit on that for you this evening. Even the little that I have here can take us through the show, actually. All right, but please indulge me for a second. The person that we have here is called Honorable Secretary of State Jesse White. Jesse White was born on June 23rd, 1934 in Alton, Illinois. He's an American athlete and politician from the state of Illinois, a member of the Democratic Party. He has served as the 37th Secretary of State of Illinois since 1999. He is the longest serving and the first African American to hold this position. Previously, he served as the Cook County Recorder of Deeds from 1993 to 1999 in the Illinois House of Representatives from 1979 to 1993. He attended Alabama State University, where he played baseball and basketball, and he graduated with a bachelor's degree in 1957. He served in the 101st Airborne Division of the United States Army from 1957 to 1959. In May 1995, Secretary White was inducted to the Southwestern Athletic Conference Hall of Fame. He was an all-city baseball and basketball player at Chicago's Waller High School, now known as the Lincoln Park High School, and was inducted into the Chicago Public Public League Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in June 1995. I was then in lower 6 in St. Aquinas in Ghana. It's a long time ago. In 1999, he was inducted into the Alabama State University Sports Hall of Fame. First elected to Secretary of State of Illinois in 1998. White was re-elected in 2002 by winning all 102 counties and garnering more than 2.3 million votes. Who does this? Who wins all counties? It tells you the man is a great man and a blessed man. The largest vote total by any candidate for Illinois statewide office in a quarter of a century. Wow. In 2006, White was re-elected a third term, having received 63% of the votes statewide. Secretary White was elected to a fourth term in 2010, the leading vote getter in the entire state. Secretary White has been an advocate on traffic safety issues. In 2007, he initiated teen driver safety legislation, giving Illinois one of the top-ranked graduated driving license GDL programs in the country. In the first full year of the new law, teen fatal crashes in Illinois dropped by 40%. Secretary White has also worked to crack down on DUI. He partnered with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MADD, on key DUI legislation effective January 2009. The new law requires all first-time DUI offenders who wish to obtain driving relief to install a breath alcohol ignition interlock device on their vehicles. MADD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Driving, called this one of the most important pieces of DUI legislation passed in Illinois in several years. He also has worked on improving CDL processes and many, many more. Like I said, his profile alone will take us to the show. We don't have time, so we would leave the rest for now and then go into a few more things. You have so much love for basketball and baseball, and can you tell us your passion for that?
Well, when I was in high school, I scored 68 points in a high school game, and that's the largest number of votes ever scored at that particular high school, which was Waller High School then. It's Lincoln Park now. I went on to Alabama State College. Better yet, let me back up. After I had graduated from high school, Beloit College in Wisconsin said, "We want you," but I didn't have a sequence in math, no trig and no algebra. Ripon College said, "We want you," same thing. Didn't have the requirements.
Okay.
Northwestern University also said they wanted me. Then finally, Alabama State College in Montgomery, Alabama, said that they wanted me to play basketball.
Right.
And so I played for 4 years. And then after I graduated from high school, after I graduated from college, I came back to Chicago, went out to Wrigley Field to try out for the Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
200 ball players, and they only selected 5, and I was one of the 5 that they selected. Gave me a contract. And then 4 days before going to spring training with the Cubs, I was drafted into the Army. So they sent me to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I went through basic training, and then I decided I want to learn how to jump out of airplanes. So I was transferred to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, did 35 jumps, completed my tour of duty, came back to Chicago, put my uniform in the closet, got my ball, bat, and glove, and flew off to Mesa, Arizona to play baseball for the Cubs. During the off season, I taught school during the day, worked for the Park District at night, was asked to put on a gym show, and that was the beginning of the Jesse White Tumbling Team, which is a famous gymnastic program here in this wonderful country of ours.
Okay.
We have 225 young people on the team, and we have 51 in college. We give each one between $3,000 to $8,000 toward their education. With those, we do about 1,500 shows a year. We turn down about 300 requests. Can I put them into our schedule? And so with the premier halftime for the National Basketball Association, baseball, tennis, soccer, the list goes on and on. We travel to Zagreb, Croatia, Belize, Israel, China, Tokyo, Japan, Hong Kong, Honolulu, Hawaii, Honokai, Hawaii, 17 times to Canada, twice to the Cayman Islands, 4 movies, 4 plays, and 25 commercials. Wow. I was a gymnast as a kid, taught gymnastics in college, and taught for the Chicago public school system. So I'm highly skilled when it comes to gymnastics.
Absolutely. And you seem very agile person, obviously, in your days. And do you have? I kind of foresee that you have love for boxing as well, because of your support for Joseph Awinyonga.
I do. I love UFC. It's mixed martial arts, and
yes,
I love boxing. And Joseph and his wonderful son, a breath of fresh air.
Okay.
And Joseph is a man of strength, a man of courage, a man of concern for his fellow man and woman. He's my friend, and he's your friend as well.
Yes.
And he has contributed much to the success of boxing in the Chicagoland area.
Brilliant. And I know you have 2 beautiful daughters.
I do. I have one who is a bookkeeper and one is a certified public accountant.
Excellent. They all live in Illinois?
All live in Chicago.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well, some of the questions that a couple of folks in our community sometimes grumble over is that people with ITIN numbers. Now, some of the small business owners, some of them are sometimes skeptical if they are able to hire these people, and sometimes some of these people that hold these ID numbers, this particular kind of ID numbers, they would wonder if they can work all kinds of job. Can you throw a little bit light on ITIN number holders?
Well, the ITIN number is really for paying taxes.
Okay.
If you work for someone, then you're required to have this document so they could take your taxes out of your salary.
So all these folks who have this are eligible to work any kind of job in the state of Illinois.
That's exactly right. So they pay taxes.
Brilliant. And when it comes to undocumented immigrants, what is the current program to help these people to enable them drive and to live a normal life in this state? And are there plans to improve on those?
Well, I run a program called a TVDL, Temporary Visitor's Driver's License. So if you've come to Illinois and you don't have all of the paperwork, you don't have the birth certificate, you don't have the Social Security card, I could still give you a driver's license if you could prove that you lived in Illinois for a 1-year period of time, you purchased your automobile insurance, and then you know the signs dealing with driving, the street signs,
Right.
And then you take the written test, and then you take the driving test. Mm-hmm. If you pass all those things, then we will give you a license, and the license is good for 3 years.
Okay.
Now, you cannot use it for identification purposes. It's only for driving only. So you cannot open up a bank account, you cannot get on an airplane, you cannot go in certain buildings using it as a form of identification. It's only for driving purposes only. And based on what I've just said, over 250,000 individuals here in Illinois have received the TVDL.
Okay.
And it's a way where people who have come here undocumented can get from point A to point B, get from home to work and work back home. Right now, prior to the enactment of this law, individuals who were driving illegally, so to speak, because they didn't have a driver's license, would have an accident, they leave the car, and they'd run. Now they can stay with the automobile, show them their driver's license, show them their insurance card, show their registration card, and let the insurance company take care of whatever the problem was.
How many states in the Midwest operate this same kind of program?
There aren't very many. I don't know the exact number,
Okay.
but I know that I run the largest Secretary of State office in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4,000 employees, a $396 million budget, 138 offices and 23 agencies, corporate filings, securities, the keep of the seal, court of claims, driver's license, stickers, state IDs,
I know.
the library system, the
I know.
literacy program, all come under my jurisdiction. And I'm just proud to have been able to be given an opportunity to serve for 19 years in this office.
19 years and holding the largest Secretary of State in the nation.
And the first African American
to do that. What drives you? What gives you the strength to keep going on for 19 years with this big responsibility?
Well, I believe that when you take on a job, you should take on the responsibility that goes with it. I go to bed at 2 o'clock every night. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. I think that when my eyes are closed, I'm going to miss out on being able to do something wonderful and beautiful for someone else. I also espouse another philosophy of life that says this, that when you come through this world and become successful, give back. And you must do something good for someone every day. That's how I run my life. And I also believe, too, I try to speak some other languages a little bit. I believe that if you can speak someone else's language, eat their food, learn their dance, learn about their culture, it makes for a wonderful relationship.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And just like I said a few moments ago when I came in,
Right.
I said, salt and pepper is good seasoning.
Yes.
Hey, can we all just get along?
Yeah, exactly. And I can allude to what you said because Nelson Mandela once said, in line with what you just said in terms of speaking someone's language, learning someone's language, and respecting others' culture. Nelson Mandela once said that if you speak a man's language, you speak to his heart. And so I took a cue from that. He says, when you speak and you talk to a man and you are communicating and then you were just talking not in his own language, you are talking to his head. But if you speak his language, you are talking to his heart.
Sure.
And you can see the heart. And the heart is where everything is. So if you can connect to someone's heart, that is the beginning of making our society a better place.
Sure. A few minutes ago, I mentioned the fact that I had attended college, Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. While I was there in 1955, Dr. King was my minister.
Okay.
And you got time for me to tell you a quick story?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Well, at Rosa Parks in the South, it was a segregated society. Blacks had water fountain for blacks and water fountain for whites, and restroom for whites and a restroom for blacks. The blacks had to sit in the back of the bus. They called them colored at the time.
Okay.
On the bus, there was a plate with an arrow pointing to the front, and it says white, and an arrow pointing to the back meant colored. This lady, Rosa Parks, refused to move to that designated spot, which is for colored, because she had just come home from work. She was a domestic worker.
Right.
And so they arrested her. And at church, Dr. King said, I have been asked to lead the effort to desegregate the Montgomery transit system, and I've agreed to do so. And I'm going to use the nonviolent means approach. I'm a student of Gandhi, and Gandhi was instrumental in bringing about the independence for the Indians from the British. So if you get struck on one cheek, you turn so you get struck on the other cheek. I raised my hand, and he said, Jesse White, what can I do for you? Dr. King used to come to all of the basketball team, all the basketball games, and he used to give me $20 after the game. I was the captain of the team and the top scorer. That was legal then. It's not legal now. And so after I raised my hand, he said, Jesse White, what can I do for you? I said, well, Dr. King, I'm from Chicago, and we don't operate like that. He said, just follow the script and everything will be all right. And sure enough, through his leadership and through his efforts, we were able to desegregate the Montgomery transit system. And, of course, we used a nonviolent means approach, and that was the beginning of the civil rights movement.
Brilliant. See, I love that story when I hear it. I love the story of Dr. King, selfless people, selfless leaders of his caliber, and people like you who, like you said something that was profound, that you live every day. Like what you have is not yours, it's for other people.
Sure.
What is the benefit of education if it's not used to build bridges, And that is one, I'm just paraphrasing what one of the scholars of this country in the person of Ralph Ellison said one time. And so I just love and I aspire to listen and to learn from people like you and then Dr. Martin Luther Kings and the leaders who live selflessly for their community so that generations after them can benefit from what they lived for. And I'm so proud of that.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the team that I have, which consists of 225 young people, male and female, and we've been around for 59 years. This 59th year begins in December.
Right.
And with those young people, they have to be leafless, smokeless, and pipeless. That means the only time they can practice pharmacists after they've earned a white coat, that means no drugs.
Oh, right.
Okay? And then they cannot drop out of school to become a part of SWU.
Wow.
Sidewalk University, where you drop out of school, you hang around the corners, you get yourselves into trouble with the law, you become arrested, and then you go to prison. $35,000 a year here in Illinois to put one person in prison for 1 year. 83% of the people in prison today have not graduated from high school. So you know who they are, and I know who they are. I want to do as much as I possibly can to save as many as I possibly can. So we've been able to have 17,500 young people to come through the Jesse White Tummy Team program.
Wow.
But we also have had 120 who've got themselves in trouble with the law. I'm going to do all I can to save as many as I can. And if you join with me, hey, we're going to make this world a better place.
I'm with you.
As they said,
WGHC, we are with you. That's our goal. That's our fight all the time here. Go ahead and say it.
Yes, Honorable, thank you for coming. And that is exactly what you just alluded to. That is exactly what we stand for, making a commitment to making a difference in our community. So we are with you 210%.
Yes.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And I'll get you with my organization because we've traveled with these young people all over the world. And these young people come back into their community and they have bragging rights. I just came back from Tokyo, Japan, or I just came back from Canada, or I came back from China, or Zagreb, Croatia, the Cayman Islands. So when you take these young people outside of their immediate environment and show them that there's this big, wide, wonderful world out there, and teach them to love their fellow man and woman and never ever dislike anyone because of race, creed, or color.
Brilliant.
I think that when we do those things and more, society is going to be a better place for all of us.
Absolutely.
That is actually that's a current program that is on our table to do. We were trying to collaborate with Sher Underwood.
Yes.
Who is from the talk is it the talk?
The Talk.
CBS. Sher Underwood and other programs, other institutions that are in Chicago that are willing to do that. And we being an African communication outlet, The Voice, we really want to commit to this and take people back home to Africa, to other parts of the continent, and have them see real life and how things are not the same as they are being portrayed on mainstream media.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So that's our program that we are working on.
Okay.
Well, I want to commit myself to joining with you on any effort that you have to make life better for all of the people, but more importantly, to help our young people become better educated, better informed, help them to become culturally enriched.
Yes.
When we do those things and more, we as society are going to win from that. We're going to benefit tremendously from that.
Absolutely. All right, listeners, we are still talking to the Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White, and we have just been going through a couple of issues, not a couple of issues, but some of the things that he's doing for the youth. And we also talk about folks who are undocumented, but still want to be able to move around. One of the criteria is that you have to be here for 1 year, and you have to show proof of insurance, and you can drive and go back and forth, but you can't open bank account with it and so forth. It's just to let you drive back and forth, and you can also work. And so if you are an employer and somebody who has an ITIN number, feel free to hire them because they are eligible to work in this.
I also want to share with you another thing that I'm doing too that your listening audience may want to appreciate. I run the organ and tissue donor program here in Illinois.
Yes.
Here we have 6.3 million people who have become organ donors. That's when you die or you can give someone else your organs.
Your organ.
So we have 6.3 million people in Illinois who have signed up to become part of the organ and tissue donor program. There are 4,700 people on the waiting list waiting for an organ here in Illinois. Wow. And each year, about 300 people die because the organs have not arrived in a timely manner. We ask that when you're alive and well, give blood. When you're no longer here, give organs. When you've done those two things, you have made a positive impact upon society. Consider the fact that one person can provide life or improve the quality of life for 25 individuals.
Wow.
You may not have a need today. You may not have a need tomorrow, but sometime during your lifetime, you or someone that you may know will have a need for an organ. We want to make sure that when that moment arrives, there'll be an adequate supply of organs available. We honored a teacher in New Lenox, Illinois. She gave her patient, can you imagine, the doctor giving her patient one of her kidneys. She had two kidneys. So she gave one to her patient. Her patient was about to die, and she didn't want this to happen on a watch, so she gave her patient a kidney. We honored a teacher in New Lenox, Illinois, elementary school teacher, kids in the 4th grade. She gave this 4th grade youngster one of her kidneys so he could live. So we ask that when you're alive and well, give blood. When you're no longer here, give organs. And when you've done those two things, we've made a positive impact on society because this is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Care for your fellow man and woman and show some love. And there are about 5 myths that are out there why people don't sign up to become a part of this program.
All right, let's go.
One, they'll say, because of religious reasons, I choose not to participate in the program.
Okay.
Well, all of the religions in the Western world support the organ and tissue donor program. Or they may say they are going to sell my organs. Well, we don't sell organs in this country. You get yourself in a lot of trouble doing that.
Right.
Or they may say the rich man's going to get his organs before I get mine. Well, we have an order that we follow. They may say, I may not look good in my going away. Well, sometimes a mortician can make you look better than you were when you were alive and well.
Okay.
And these are some of the myths that are out there.
Okay.
And we want to do all we can to dispel them, that we want you to be a person who has signed up to say, if by chance I happen to pass away, I want my organs used for transplantation purposes. There was one of my tumblers was shot and killed coming out of the Fort City Mall, and 6 of his organs were used for transplantation purposes. A friend of mine, young lady, beautiful lady, passed away, died of an aneurysm. 9 of her organs were used for transplantation purposes, and one African-American gentleman who couldn't see can now see because he got the corners of eyes. So there are a lot of heroes out there. We want you to be a hero by signing up, and if something happens to you, let your organs be used for transplantation purposes.
So the main and the essence of this is to save someone's life who might need your organ when, unfortunately, you pass away.
Well, not only that.
Okay.
For example, you have 2 kidneys. So if you're in need of a kidney and we have the same blood type,
okay,
I can give you one of my kidneys. You don't have to stand in line. Some of the other organs, yes, you have to stand in line. But if you're my relative or you're my friend, I want to do it, I can do it without having to get in line.
So you're saying whilst you are alive, you can decide, you're encouraging folks to, let's say you have 2 kidneys, you can go and donate to say, hey, you know what, take one and keep it for safe. When someone needs it, give it to them. Is that what you are?
But let me do it like this. When you sign up, you go into a database. So when the people who are at the front of the line need a kidney, well, if a kidney is available, they want to make sure that the blood type is a match. Okay. We don't care what your ethnic background is, but it's a lot, the recovery and the quality of life is a lot better if, by chance, it's from the same ethnic background. My sister was in dire need of a kidney. There was not a match within my family, so she put her name on the organ tissue donor list, and she received a kidney, and the kidney came from a Caucasian person. So there's a lot to be said about this wonderful program that we're involved with.
Brilliant. Listeners, you're still logged on to the Progressive Mind Show with your host, Alinko, right here at WGHC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station. And my producer is giving me a signal. Okay, for comments, and I think we have a few comments on Facebook. I'm going to read them. Joe Owusu says, does he approve international driver's license on the streets of Illinois?
When an individual comes to the state, the international driver's license can be used for a certain period of time.
So let's say
there's a limited period of time in which it can be used.
Okay, so 2, 3, 4 months?
It depends on what's on the document.
Oh, it depends on what's on the document. Okay, so Joe Owusu, that is the answer from the Secretary of State. It depends on the document. You can use your international.
If it says 6 months or 3 months left on it, we can do it.
You can, okay. So if that answers your question, great. If not, you can please come again.
But also they could call my office, and the office number is 312-814-2576. 312-814-2576. That's my office. And if I don't answer it, my secretary will answer it.
Brilliant.
Nevertheless, they'll get a chance to talk with me.
Brilliant. If you want to talk to him, he just give you his number. You can just ring and talk to him.
That's so cool.
That's so cool, right? I love his open policy, open door policy. Well, that's a great man.
Well, let me tell you what happens. Many times you say a lot of things to get involved with the political arena. But once you get there, then you forget about who was responsible for helping you to get there. Now, I was a lawmaker for 16 years. Then I became the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, the second largest Recorder of Deeds office in the nation, and now 19 years in the largest Secretary of State office in the nation. And the people who know me will attest to the fact that they don't have problems getting in touch with me. Matter of fact, my telephone number's in the telephone book.
So that's why I wonder, how are you able to keep and to soak up all this pressure from everybody and you still have the energy to keep going for 19 years, and you look like you have the energy to go for another 20 years or 30 or 50.
Thank you.
How do you get the energy? Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I exercise.
Exercise?
Exercise.
Okay. And Kay?
Yes, I hear that.
You hear the exercise?
But then all my life I've been actively involved. I served in the military for 3 times. Paratrooper Guardsman Reservist 10 years. And I played professional baseball in the Cub organization for 8 years.
I think...
And I was a gymnast too. As a kid, and I'm a skier
Right.
and an ice skater.
Yeah, you are an astounding athlete and professional. However, we do have equally good professionals, athletes and professionals who are very much out of shape right now. You know, sometimes over maybe 2, 3, 4 years after they leave the sports or leave the profession, you know, you would not recognize them when you see them. You know, and I think it has to do with discipline.
Well, I believe that if
It's
you want to live a
discipline.
long and productive life, you have to take care of your body.
But you have to be disciplined. It's, I think it's discipline.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. How many sanctuary states does the state have right now?
How many what?
Sanctuary cities.
Oh,
Apart from
it's
Chicago.
About a dozen.
A dozen of them?
About 13.
Okay.
13.
The reason why I asked that is that we know the current president, Donald Trump, has, you know, certain immigration policies and I would say general national policies that do not necessarily augur well for people from the immigrant community. Now, we know that some of his policies are directly affecting some of the sanctuary cities. Can you throw a little bit of light on how his policies are directly affecting the sanctuaries in the state of Illinois?
Well, you see, back in, I think it's 2012, individuals came into this wonderful country of ours, brought in by their parents, brought in by relatives, brought in by friends. And they're referred to as dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
The United States has always had a reputation of being the safety net, the light at the end of the tunnel, the country that would welcome anyone who wanted to come to this wonderful country of ours.
Right.
Now, these dreamers are here. Some of them are teachers, doctors, lawyers. They've contributed much to the success of this wonderful state.
Absolutely.
And now Donald Trump is seriously thinking about sending them back to where they came.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of these young people don't know anything about the country that they came from.
Mm-hmm.
And they cannot speak the language.
Right.
So, Rahm Emanuel, a wonderful, wonderful mayor,
Okay.
said that he wanted Chicago to remain a sanctuary city. And we stand by him because he's on the right track. We just want to make sure that we welcome these young people. We should not be concerned about their ethnic background and how you spell your name and what your religion is. If you're a young person who want to live in this wonderful country of ours, let's open our arms and let's make sure it happens.
And so his direct immigration policies are not going to affect the sanctuary cities in the state of Illinois, as far as you're concerned.
I think the case is out on that, but I think that the 13 states are steadfast in wanting to keep these DACA people here.
Okay. And you did, before the show, you were showing me this document or this legislature that you were...
Sure. There was a letter, Lisa Madigan sued Donald Trump on number 45. I kind of have problems calling him my president, okay?
So you just call him number 45?
A lot of people have the same.
See, there are 800,000 DACA people here.
Okay.
42,000 live in Illinois. And we want to keep them here in Illinois because they have produced and they have helped and they have contributed much to the success of our state. And so I just sent a letter of support to her, congratulating her and letting her know that she had the strength of the Secretary of State in an effort to oppose Donald number 45's effort to send these people back to the country of origin.
Okay. And so this is your letter
Yes.
that you have written in support of the suit that is currently in fight against Donald Trump's DACA policy.
That's exactly right.
And DACA, for those of you who are listening to us and who probably may not know what DACA is, it's the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That's all what DACA is. And I'm just going to read maybe a phrase or two from the Secretary of State's letter in support of this suit against Donald Trump, whom he calls the number 45. He prefers to call him that way. It says, the Office of the Secretary of State, Jesse White, declaration, and it says, pursuant to 2628 USC number 174C to I, Jesse White, hereby declares as follows. I am the Secretary of State for the state of Illinois. I have served as Secretary of State since 1999, the longest serving Secretary of State in the history of the state of Illinois. As the Secretary of State, I administer many departments that affect the lives of citizens of the state of Illinois, including driving offices, driving services, and vehicle services. Sorry, I'll take that again. Driving services and vehicle services, business services, the Illinois Securities Department, the Illinois State Library, the Illinois State Archives, and the Secretary of State Police. Through this department, my office deals more directly with the citizens of the state of Illinois than any other state agency. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA program was instituted in 2012 to protect the immigrants who came to the United States of America, which is all he's already said. And so basically this letter, I'm just reading it to you to let you know that he is definitely so in support of it. Now, the last paragraph, which I want you to know, which is the conclusion of his letter, is that it says, based on the foregoing, I am expressing my strong opposition to the federal government's ill-conceived plan to rescind the Deferred Action to Childhood Arrivals program, DACA. The Dreamers deserve the same opportunities of this great land as the many immigrants that came before them. I declare under penalties of perjury under the laws of United States of America and of the state of Illinois that the foregoing is true and correct. This declaration is made on the 27th day of September 2017 in the state of Illinois. What a great and awesome man.
This country is built on immigrants.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And so who are we to say that you came here from another part of the world, but you cannot stay here? That's a violation of all laws of human decency.
I love that. Based on what we just read with regards to the magnitude of your office, now, how significant is it, your office, to the economic growth and development of the state?
Well, almost every phase of life, an individual who lives in Illinois,
right,
in some shape, form, or fashion, they have to come to the Secretary of State's office. If you want to establish a business, you have to become incorporated. So you have to come to my business services department. And if by chance you want a driver's license, don't forget.
Yes.
You have to come to see me for your driver's license.
Yes.
But you have to also remember, he who giveth can't take it away. Because I take away with 750,000 driver's licenses, yet I want to get into that in a minute.
Okay.
And then you want to use the libraries.
Okay.
Well, we fund the libraries, and I'm also the chief archivist. Anything of historic proportion,
right,
comes through my office. And so I do a lot in terms of helping individuals to live a better quality of life here in Illinois. Right now, I said a moment ago that I take away with 750,000 driver's licenses. But if you go through the toll booths and you don't pay, I will get a note from the Illinois Tollway Authority to suspend your license.
Right.
If by chance you have a large number of parking tickets, the clerk of that city and county will send me a note asking me to suspend your license. If you don't pay child support, it's called deadbeat dads don't drive. Now, you brought a kid into this world and you refuse to care for that child, and the state is caring for that child, you're not going to be able to drive.
Right.
And then if your car is not tested for emissions, for pollutants that come out of the car.
Right.
Then I'll get a note from EPA to suspend your license. And then there are times when you'll drive down the road and you'll toss a bottle out of the car. Well, that's going to get you a $1,500 fine, a year suspension on your license, just to name some of the things that are going to happen.
Okay.
The other thing that I do, and that is I travel around to the colleges and universities And I remind young people when they go off to college that to purchase or to buy a fake driver's license is a bad idea.
Okay.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
At many of the colleges and universities here in Illinois and around the country, there'll be someone there who will say, I can get you a fake ID so you can go to the bar or to the club.
Okay.
What's going to happen when you get to the club? You're going to drink, and then you're going to try to drive.
Right.
Bad idea.
Okay.
If you get caught with a fake ID, then it's a 1-year suspension on your license, 2-year period in jail.
Wow.
And then a fine. And then, of course, there's fraud on your record. And then you also have identity theft because the young man who you gave this information to, who sent it off to one of the foreign countries, he has all your documentation. Your name, your address, your social security number. We don't put social security numbers on driver's license, but sometimes they ask for that for other reasons. So now you pay $150 for the state ID or the driver's license, and it'll come back to him, and he'll give it to you. Now you go to the bar, to the club, and you use it, then you get caught. Now after you graduate from college, you want a job.
Right.
And the first thing they'll do is a background check on you. First thing that will come up is fraud on your license.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that job.
Right.
So if you have kids who are going off to college, tell them, do one thing. You do a lot of things, but one thing is don't buy a fake driver's license.
Right. And
don't drink to become overserved.
See, and what the reasons why you are taking on these measures is to ensure road safety.
Well, I want the roads of Illinois to be the safest ever, and every day we work toward that end.
Okay.
And I just want these young people, and I want everyone who drive out on our roads to be able to get to their destination and back home or wherever they want to be. But I just don't want anyone to become a victim of your carelessness by drinking too much or having drugs in your system or not having a driver's license, not having automobile insurance. Obey the law.
What is the safety rate of this state compared to other states in the Midwest?
Pretty good, but I have a better handle on the graduated driver's license program, where you have gone into high school, and when you get 16, you want to get into driver's education so you can learn how to drive. We require parents to spend 50 hours behind the wheel with you.
Okay, 50 hours.
10 of those hours at night, because nighttime driving creates a problem for our young drivers.
Right.
We want only one unrelated individual in the car with you, because when you have a lot of kids in the car with you and you are trying to get from point A to point B, it becomes a distraction.
Okay.
So, and then of course sometimes they get involved in street racing or drag racing. And then we have a contract that we ask parents to get from my website, so that the child will read it about all of the rules and regulations, all the do's and the don'ts, and then so the ticket comes to the house. Mother will ask the young man about the ticket,
right,
or the young lady, and then of course if by chance they don't want to get the license up,
right,
it says right here, that's what you're supposed to do.
Brilliant. All right, listeners, we only have 5 minutes. The Secretary of State, he has a lot to on his schedule, so he has to leave in just 5 minutes. We'll open the phone lines if you need to speak to him or say a word or two. The number to dial is 773-942-7167. 773-942-7167. The phone lines are open. You can say, you can call in and ask your questions. So I wanted to get into I know you're running for office for next year. Okay. If you can just put that together and then your support for the governor. You have a caller online. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Rebecca. I'm calling from Chicago. I want to congratulate our honorable wife for the wonderful thing you have done. We wish everybody have a good heart like you. God bless you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much. Caller, the number is 773-942-7167. He has a few minutes here to wrap up and leave the studios of WGHC. Go Green is saying that there's a myth about tissue organ donation, which is if you put your name on the list and you happen to be sick, physicians or doctors may not give you the proper care just so your organs can be donated. How true is this?
That's a fallacy. The doctor has a commitment to you and to you only. You can't. If you're dead, you can't get paid from the doctor.
Okay.
If the doctor would like to keep you on as a patient.
Okay. All right.
But if you happen to die, it's a one-shot deal. So
all right.
No, don't believe that's a myth. Don't buy into that one.
Okay. He said don't buy into that one. We have a caller on the line. You have reached the studios of WGHC 98.3 FM. This is Alinko with the Progressive Minds. Please go ahead with your name and your question or your contribution to the show.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead with your contribution or your question for the Secretary of State.
Yeah, this is Bafo. I'm calling. Hi, Honorable.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I would like to congratulate you for your appointment.
Well, thank you very much.
Me and my family we have our support.
Are
you going to run another term or because we still have my vote?
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he's asking if you're going to run for. Yeah, he's running.
I'm running for re-election. I'll be on the ballot in March, and then once I clear the primary election, the general election is next November.
Oh, okay.
So
you are doing a good job, and we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I just believe that everyone should get registered and vote. Come out and discharge their civic responsibilities.
Right.
If you don't vote, you lose your gripe rights. Cannot complain about anything.
Right. We'll do that. Me and my family, we are all done that.
Well, thank you,
sir. Yeah.
So obviously you have support and love from the community.
You're right. Yeah.
For your contribution to the state and the people from the immigrant community. Now you were supporting the Mr. J.B. Pritzker.
J.B. is a good friend of mine. For governor.
Okay.
I've known him for over 30 years. He has a giving and a caring spirit, a commitment to young people. He espouses a philosophy of life or a program that says that we have to do all we can to help our young people become better educated and better informed. And he starts at the preschool level.
Okay, before you continue, we have a caller on the line. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from, caller.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I'm calling from Woodridge. I just want to say hi to Mr. Jesse White, and also I want to let you know that you're doing a good job. We are very grateful for all the things that you are doing. God bless your heart, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes, please continue your statement. You were talking about your support for Mr. J.B. Pritzker, who's running for governor, and he's a Democrat.
Yeah, he believes in preschool for young people because when you start young people participating in the learning process early on, it's a win-win situation for us. He's also a proponent of making sure that these young people are properly fed in school because it's kind of tough for you to learn. When you are hungry, you're concerned about your stomach more than your brain. So. Strong believer of that. And then, of course, he's concerned about sitting down with the leaders and hammering out programs that are in the best interest of the people of the state.
Okay.
Doesn't have the attitude that I cannot have my way, so I'm going to take my ball and bat and go home. And nothing is done with that kind of an attitude.
Last
really
question.
Speaking about the president fella.
Okay. Thanks for elaborating a little bit on that, and I'm hoping that in the future we can have you here so we can talk more about some of these things, because we need to know who our next governor would be. We need to know a little more background about them because the ordinary middle class and the lower class is looking for somebody who's going to fight for their cause. And one thing I like about J.B. Pritzker, I don't know him that much, but I realize that he's a philanthropist. And we like people with that kind of heart, I don't know much about him, but I like the philanthropic aspect of his life. And we are hoping that, if all things go well, he becomes the next governor of the state. I don't know, but that depends on the people. Now, you've worked with 4 governors.
Yes, George Ryan,
Pat Quinn, Rod Garbage,
Jim Edgar Blagojevich, Tim Thompson.
Right.
And Pat Quinn was probably, and George Ryan were two of my favorites.
Exactly. I was going to ask you that.
Pat Quinn was a Democrat. George Ryan is a Republican, but George eventually went to jail because of some things that they were doing that was not proper within the office.
Okay.
But in terms of budgetary concerns, running the state in a highly professional manner, the two, I think, did quite well.
You mean Pat Quinn?
Both of Pat Quinn and George Ryan.
Pat Quinn and George Ryan. So those are your two topics.
Well, then, okay, Jim Edgar and Jim Thompson, they all did well, too.
Okay.
And they believed in the art of compromise. Okay. You cannot just have it your way. You sit down and you negotiate, and that's the name of the game when it comes to politics.
Absolutely. All right, listeners. We would have to end it with the conversation with the Secretary of State right now. As I told you, Joe, on the show, he has a very, very, very busy schedule. You just heard all the departments that he heads. I mean, so if you live in the state of Illinois, some way, somehow, your life is affected by this man and his office. And so for him to leave everything to come here tells you the love he has for our community and the society at large. We are so grateful for his commitment and his time this evening. If you did not get a chance to speak or call, definitely we are working on getting him again. Looks like you have time for one last caller?
Sure.
Okay. Do we have the caller online? Okay. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Yes, you are the last lucky person. Please go ahead and your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Akofa. I'm calling from Chicago.
Yes,
yeah,
please go
hi.
ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Akofa.
Yes.
We hear you.
Yeah, I just want to make a shout out to Honorable Jesse White. The African community love you so much. We are proud of what you are doing. We are so honored to have you and listening to you on Progressive Mind. God bless you for all you've been doing for us.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're going to sign off right for now. The Progressive Minds will continue after he leaves the studios. You can, but before we do that, do not forget on the 19th, you want to come to the second Black Tie event of the WGHC 98.3 organization at Stan Mansion. The tickets are out. Go to Eventbrite and buy tickets. It's $90 per person. Couples are going for $150. A table of 6 is going for $600, and a table of 10 is going for $750. So invite a friend to tell a friend. Come to this event where the Honorable Secretary himself will be attending. As we said, Honorable Dorothy Brown and other important dignitaries are going to be there. We are going to be awarding people who are doing excellent jobs for excellent work that is positively affecting our community. It's going to be an awesome event. You don't want to miss it. Red carpet event. Nanama McBrown is coming all the way from Ghana. Our own Nana Mafu is going to be there. Cosby. Michael is the MC. There's going to be live music and high life. Man, you don't want to miss this one, all right? He's leaving. But before you go, I want to teach you 2 African languages.
Okay.
Ghanaian languages. I'm an Ewe. And the predominant language or dialect in Ghana is Chi. So if you go to Ghana, you have to definitely speak Chi. So,
say Chi?
Chi.
Oh, Chi.
Yeah. And then Ewe. So, to say thank you in Ewe, you say Akbe.
Akbe.
Yes. And then in Chi, you say Medase.
Medase.
You got it.
Okay. As they say in my neighborhood, you're the man.
Yeah, you're the man. All right, listeners, we shall continue with the Progressive Mind Show. My producer would be giving us a short musical break while we take a recess. And so please stay logged on to WGAC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station. You're still logged on to the Progressive Mind Show with your host, Alinko. We shall be right back.
They say they go finish me. They say they go stop me. But I they look them, they laugh. Cause I they see them like toys. Somebody say go, 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 go. Oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray. I say go, 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 go. Oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray, oh yeah, Miss Ray. They say they know me. I swear my father can't throw. They know nothing about me. Hey, so you think say you know me? Hey, Why you know nothing about me?
Tell him.
Say you go stop me. All I day by my side, so I never they walk alone. Say you go finish me. God do they by my side, so I never they walk alone. Get up, stand up, fight for your rights. Intimidation no go stop me, I do what's right. I go live my life. And I still see them like toys. Somebody say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre. I say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre.
From the ups and downs, none of them been with me, no. From the ups and downs, my squad still with me, yo. Yeah, me say me there, and yeah, me say me there. Long time, every morning, man, I say a prayer. Me wanna be a player, no, me wanna be a singer. Oh Lord, favor my prayer. Cha, what my name, me Aki. Youngest in charge, me lucky. VVIP sign me, them 18. Hey, me Aki.
Somebody say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre. I say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre.
Mr. Rockway, me and a simple jack, my mama me cognac. Sister, so me cigar, mama never time and answer me laugh. My come, and my kind can never be whacked. With so much confidence, I'm your aphrodisiac. I wanna say, yamin, I'm in the buy, better on the hip like. Funny, man, I'm in the buy, man, yeah, I'm there, I'm like your midwife. To be my good looks, or my good books, or something amazing that I did that got y'all shook.
We see them, we know them, we smell them, bomber class spray them. Then they here, tomorrow them they there. So called concert, make you day there. We make a meal on cash every now and then. I call you Mr. Loose, call me Wayne. We stay on top, we never fall. You talk about us, Chalo,
they go finish me.
No way.
They say they go stop me. But I look them, they laugh. Cause I see them like toys. Somebody say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre. I say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre. Somebody say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre. I say go, 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 go. Muy emisre, muy emisre, muy emisre.
Hey, yeah. Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco, my one and only. Hey, because you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, carry go. If you think I gon' leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this, yeah. You did so many things I can't resist, yeah, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world. Baby, you would give me joy, Angela. It go better make us suffer so you don't cry. If we be having food today, I will go sky. Can it be true what they talk me? I know they lie you. Yeah. If you leave me today, girl, I don't die. If you think I gon' leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this, yeah. You did so many things I can't resist, yeah, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world. Baby, you would give me joy, Angela. Angela.
Hey people, you welcome back to the show. It is the Progressive Mind Show right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. Excuse me. We told you we're going to be coming back. The Secretary of State had to leave the studios because of his very, very busy schedule. But we are glad, we are more than appreciative to have him here. And definitely backdoor conversations indicate that this is not going to be the last time we're going to be seeing him here. And so we are grateful to God for all that He's doing in the face of adversities. His watching and keeping us and moving the station to greater heights because He's the foundation, and everything we are doing here is for our people in the community. There's a clear mind of what we're doing. We have a good heart. I mean, we are doing this out purely from our heart and for our people, and we are always dependent on God, Jehovah, who is the author and finisher of our faith. He's the one that's controlling everything. So we thank God for life and opportunity to have this to be granted this time in our life to embark on a project like this. I always say, and as the Secretary of State just alluded before he left, that what is the essence of education? What's the essence of what you have, the talent that you have, the money, the resources, with all your fineness and your greatness? It's of no essence if it's not used to the benefit or for the benefit for the people that are less vulnerable, the people that who do not have your kind of privilege or opportunities. And as I said, Ralph Ellis cannot put it any better. He says the essence of education is to bridge gaps. All right, and we will be going into his visit here, talking about some of the things that he talked about. And on the panel, as you see, there's beautiful people. I mean, you see the boss himself. His face is not new to you. You know, you see him every day. He's your people. He's your man. You see him at your party, your funeral.
The boss is right there. The boss is right there. The boss is right there. And the other boss is right there. Can you show the boss?
Yes, very soon you see our bigger boss.
Show the boss over there. That's the boss right there.
Joe is a wonderful, wonderful producer. One of our guys here. We love him so much. Yeah. But as I was saying, this face, you see him at your all the time. The face over in the corner is my beautiful wife. Today she decided to pay us a visit. Maybe she will talk about her organization, but we're just going to be talking about breaking it down, breaking the conversation we have with the secretary down. So you can join the conversation if you want. The number to ring is 773-942-7167. Okay.
Yes.
Your view, your observation from the Secretary of State, being the first time you've met him.
Yes. Well, I'll say kudos to the Progressive Minds team, whatever crew that you are working with.
You are my crew.
Well, we have a we have a lot of brands here at WGAC.
Yeah, right.
It tells you that the umbrella is made. The WGAC brand is made of different brands.
Yes,
and it comes together to build a better and a much bigger goal, and that is being committed to making a difference in our community.
Absolutely.
And these are ways that we do it by connecting and networking with the calibers that can make our dreams and our vision come to pass. Africans, we are one of the immigrant groups and communities here in Chicago that we contribute a lot to the city of Chicago. But oftentimes is always looked
and even
in the state, oftentimes is always looked on at the directions of the Latinos and the Native Americans, and which is not a bad thing, it's good. But I'm just saying we also contribute to it. But because we never had a voice, we never had a particular place where we assemble all our issues and everything and kind of transmit it and transport it to out there for people to hear what's happening. I mean, had we not have this voice, where are we going to meet and hear these things from Jesse White,
right,
or any of these political figures in Chicago? So the more reason why I'm so appreciative of the team here, from Black Jesus to yourself to the Namafos to the Cosbys to the to the Wretched and
Mama-
Righteous,
Mama
Mama
D,
D, and all of those.
Bieja, the Bieja. Oh my God!
I know you like it.
I love Bieja. I love Bieja.
So everybody's doing their own in their own kind of way to add on to the vision. So to talk about, and he said something that was so profound, like you said earlier on, talking about, giving back what you have, being committed to making people better. And I was in awe when I heard somebody, was it 18 years, 19 years? 19 years he's been in office.
1990s.
And yes, and he's talking about, a lot of times people, and I wish and I pray and I'm hoping our African leaders listen to that part.
Yes.
Even here in Chicago, the community leaders needs to listen to that. That when you get into office, you say a lot of things to get into office. Once they get there,
Right.
then they forget about the people that got them there.
Thank you, Bohobio. Say that again.
And then they act all big and all of that, And it's something that we preach about it, we hear about it, we've heard this thing before, and then it happens. It's our way of life. But this man, he said, I will even put my number out there. Some people, so much protocol and all of that, and even their numbers, they don't want to put it out there.
And that's what his press secretary was saying. I was sitting with him out there, and he said he doesn't need 14 bodyguards around him. He wants people to come to him and ask him questions. He wants to engage with the people who are voting for him.
Yeah, and that is very profound. That is why I think he's been in office for 19 years and counting, because and if you're connected to the people and you are so down to earth to the people, for the people to feel like, okay, he understands what I'm going through, he knows what, so that then they abide with your rules and regulations. That they're not like, when you bring in something new, you're doing all of this, but because he's so cool, he's talking about, you can call me if I don't answer, my secretary will answer, because when we were invited him to the gala, I got to talk to him directly. It wasn't like I talked to somebody else.
Right,
I talked to him directly. He was like, you know what? We family. He keeps saying we family. And he said that today too. So it goes to me, the reason why I'm on the show today and we're talking about it is we want to talk about it as a community and see what we can get out of this. Not the fact that his caliber was here in our studios, but the essence of who he is and the points that he made.
Yes.
The lesson that he's able to give to us now is what I really want to talk about. It's like not him being here. It's a good resume. It tells you that this station is not a joke. This station is not a station for you to play with. And this program, for that matter, Progressive Minds. So it's the things that he talked about, the way he portrayed himself as a public figure, as a community leader, as a politician. These are the things that we need to take back to our community leaders, to take back to our nations. Let them know that these are how we are experiencing people of your caliber in an advanced country,
Right.
let alone a developing country. So, and he knows that we know our rights. He knows we know our rights. And so he helps us to understand our rights the better. So, I would say, man, Progressive Minds, from Dorothy Brown to so many good, resourceful people that comes on this station through Progressive Mind. And that's to tell you that soon and very soon the time it will be shifting. Because today you actually kind of helped me, because my show, I had a lot of things I wanted to say, but this is very important to our community, and this show is important. So we'll be moving to 7.
To 7.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
We'll be moving to 7 because most of the people that are coming in, because of the time difference, and we want everybody to get what is coming out of this show.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
Yeah,
and it's good. One of the things that you also alluded that I found so profound is like what you're saying. He says he goes to bed every day at 2 a.m. and wakes up at 6 a.m. Now this is, I don't know his age, but
he's up there.
Yeah, he's up there, and
it looks great.
And he looks great.
Yeah. Man, I learned another thing.
He has the humility. He has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like and the point to your point, how many politicians? The Secretary of State in Ghana. First of all, you not even get to talk to his secretary.
And his deputy secretary.
Deputy secretary.
Is he going to have the 14 bodyguards?
I'm telling you.
Believe you me.
You'll be lucky to talk to his 5th secretary. You'll be lucky to get their number to speak to directly, unless they want to come and talk to you and benefit from you. You'll be lucky to have their contact number. So for his kind of open door policy and having been consistent with it, and to the fact that he said, he walks his talk. He tells his people one thing during campaign, and when he goes to office, he does it. No wonder the man has been in office for 19 years.
His press secretary was telling me that even the most whitest small counties in southern Illinois, people who have never voted for anyone other than who looks like them, even they voted for him, which shows how profound his motto and the way that he does business is. It reaches way past even people who look like him.
It goes to tell you the some of the proverbs in the Akan language that says "adepanoton," meaning valuable things sell itself. And so if you consider yourself and you count yourself very worth it and valuable, you don't have to make too much noise. You don't have to go about your ways doing so much. You will sell yourself to the right people
if you're doing the right thing.
If you're doing the right thing,
and it's quality,
and that is as small as we are as a station, and with the kind of personalities we have here, and we are still grooming, we are still growing. Believe you me, we're not even quarter there yet, but we are getting there, and we're getting there. And when he came, he was, for this type of personality to come tells you the type of platform you're sitting on. So again, we want everybody that to come together. This station is for all of us. Prior to your show, I had another lady on there that was saying something about we as a community. The reason why most of the things that we are lacking, because we talk the talk but we don't walk the walk. We say let's come together, but we don't come together. We don't like each other. But the thing is, sometimes you really don't have to like somebody to work together.
Yes, I think it's about the bigger cause, and unfortunately I think not only our African community but other communities too, the small petty things inhibit our growth and inhibit the greater good coming together. Sometimes you just have to put some things aside and work together for the betterment of the community, period. Because the way that you feel or your emotions that were hurt, if you focus on those things, that's all you're going to have. You're not going to be able to grow.
I was telling the same thing. I was telling the same thing to someone yesterday. I said, we're going to be having a Secretary of State in our studios today, and his attitude was like, and I'm like, you know what, we need to work together, we have to help our community, we have to develop the African community. And he was like, the African community, they have this, the person gave me this negative, do you want to, why do you care about the African community? Why do you, forget, we are who we are, we are like that, we are, that negative connotation that you get from people all the time. And I'm like, look, this is the same reason why we're not moving on. Same reason why we're not getting where we're going to go into. Because a lot of people, to the point where a lot of people do not even want to live within Africans, like the African community. As for African parties, I don't go to African parties. So people say that. I don't go to where Ghanaians are. I don't like all those Ghanaians people. You get Ghanaians who say that. Okay, so if you won't go there, where would you go? Will you go to, you're not Asian, you're not from North Korea. Are you going to Kim Jong-un, North Korea? The point is, there is no race or community or group of people that are perfect. All right? Wherever somebody is that you feel like you would like to go to instead of the African community, I don't go to Africans. I don't go to Ghanaians. So you go to somewhere else. Okay. Wherever you go to, it's something that attracts you there. It means they have a maybe better system, a developed community is nice, that attracts you there. God did not come from heaven to build that nice thing that attracts you to them. No. They sacrificed. They went beyond themselves. They had a sense of community. I keep saying this. If we keep talking about Africans, and we don't start doing something about it literally, and we keep saying it, we would we'll stay at where we are. And I'm not just saying Africans, but the minority community, the African American, the Afro-Latina, the Caribbean community, we have to make a conscious effort. We are not crab in the barrels. I hear people say that all the time. That is not, we are the cradle of humanity, the African race. All right? We are never, the race, the people that discovered mathematics, the people that built the pyramids, which is something no other person, no other human race can ever replicate. The people that discovered alphabets, you were saying that we are crabs in the barrels. We are not. We have created this negative name for ourselves. Well, we have our misfortunes. We've had our flaws. But thank God we have very educated and astute people in our communities. And so from the Obamas to the Dr. Martin Luther King to the Nelson Mandela to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to Nyerere to Thomas Sankara to Ofebuanye to Patrice Lumumba, we have great African leaders. And this is not about races, no, ethnic groups, no. The thing is that we keep saying bad things about ourselves all the time, and it's time we stop doing that and start looking at what we can do to solve a problem or to deal and tackle with a situation that is bad in our community. If you find that one person is not promoting another person's business, we don't promote our business, we are petty and all that. One of the problems is lack of education. Yes, for so many reasons, we don't have a lot of, education, or we are inhibited when it comes to education and all that. There are so many things that prohibits us, but there's so many things also that are available to us, and coupled with our innate ability and potential that we can harness. If we stop pointing all the finger to us and saying all these wrong things to us and start looking within us to change our community, if we don't start doing that, your children and our children will come and meet what we are seeing now that we don't like. So let's build a future so that when they come, they can be proud of us.
The reason why is, this is a medical doctor sitting right here. And we have maybe a good amount of people in your area that are doctors
and lawyers.
We have lawyers,
engineers.
we have engineers, we have nurses. Some of them have even gone as far as
IT gurus. Look at the guys who were here the other time.
We have entrepreneurs. We have people in the communication field. In our community, we talk of Yalaji. Who else? The guy that does the interviews with the TV with the camera. I forgot his name.
Oh, the Pongo? Is it the Pongo?
I forgot his name. But there's so many of them.
Nunez brother.
Yeah, and then Sankofa, Mr. Ruben. And back on those people. So my point to that is, not all of us can be the same. You are a doctor. There's a lot of doctors, but they are not all like you. But then you guys are all in the same field. When you guys going into the theater, you go do somebody holds some part, somebody does some other things. You all work together to accomplish the greater goal, like you're saying.
Yeah.
That is my problem with our people, though. It's like we all want to hold one part. Everybody wants to be at the top or wants to be recognized or whatever. Sometimes you don't even need to be recognized.
Don't need to.
You understand what I'm saying? So, if you hold the head, I hold the neck. Somebody holds the leg, somebody holds the waist, and it's coming from different, backgrounds, different professions, and all of that.
Right.
But I was talking to somebody and I was saying that we can all be in the same area, but like somebody passed you on to Jesse Jackson, right? I mean Jesse White. Somebody did that because it felt like maybe what we are doing here is good for somebody.
Right.
It's positive for somebody like that to be here. Somebody helped you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody has an information, can give it to us to relay it to the community, but they won't do it. They want to do it themselves, and it might not reach the mass as if it was to be, brought here for us to do it
or doing the
team, or doing in the team. So again, it's all about, if we really want to work together in unity, we have to understand that we all cannot, just force yourself into the
same box
thing
and do the same thing.
You can't do the things I do.
Right.
Maybe I cannot do what you do. But if you come together, maybe I can help in marketing. Maybe I can help in administration. Maybe I can help in, PR or something.
So what do you think it is? If we had to list maybe the top 3 things that's hindering our community from growing.
I'll tell you what. First thing, education. One. Okay.
What do you mean by that? Because I feel like a lot of
in the sense
us
that I'll tell you.
are educated.
Well, not majority.
I
of
think
us.
it's feelings.
Well,
So that's two.
wait. But
Feelings
for
and
me,
attitude.
the first thing is because in the entire African continent, we know that majority of the folks in the African community majority are less educated. Okay. Excuse me. The rate of illiteracy in Africa, I think, is about 63% or 53 to 63. I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
In Ghana as well, definitely a very high number. The rate of illiteracy. Okay. It's not even average.
Okay.
It's extremely high. What that means is that it transcends into everything that we do. See, education is a training of the mind, right?
Right.
Okay. So you develop the mind to a level where you can comprehend, you can let some things go. Your feelings, your mind overtakes your feelings. Like you were saying, it's our feelings, right? So if you have feelings and your mind is well trained, right? At the end of the day, you know that, oh, okay, well, this is my feelings. But if I put my feelings aside and we all work together, it can be good for our country, right? Like we learn from the Republicans, we learn from these politicians. In African politics, African politics can literally go at each other. And when they come into power, just because they are not from the same political party, they can eradicate everything that the former government had done, right? But here, it is not like that. There are political divides in this country and in the Western world. But what we have learned and we have seen from the past is that they go beyond that. They might not do everything, okay, that the previous government did, but they don't eradicate all the good programs. Yes, now we have an extreme situation where Donald Trump is basically taking and doing every good thing that Obama did. Okay, but that is not the norm. That is why the whole world and even this country, even its own party, are going and talking against him. But
what type of education are we talking about here?
Education in the sense that here is the thing: if you rightly educated, if you have majority of the people, or at least
are you talking about school education?
You're talking about school education?
No, school education, because that is how your brain is trained to think above the normal or the level at which because if you so we all know what education literacy is, right? Somebody who's educated and somebody who's not educated.
Right.
You typically, the person who is not educated have a level of thinking or have a level of have a way of doing things versus the person who's educated. And more often than not, the persons who have education, literacy, you know, tend to do things in a little more civil, a more common sense way.
Well, I think the thing that happens with education is that you learn to do things other than how you know. Okay. And so your mind gets open to the possibility that maybe the way you're doing things is not the best way, or there are other ways to do it. But my problem with saying education is that I believe, first of all, the problems that are happening on the continent have to be teased out from what's happening in our community here and why we're not coming together here. I think they're two separate fields, okay? Yeah. So then when we focus here, I feel like most of the people that end up here in the States are educated. All right, I believe we have enough education within us, right, to be able to think beyond just our one way of thinking. You know, coming to the U.S. is hard knocks education already. And I feel like it's not always what you learn in a book, but sometimes just coming here and seeing how, you know, life is different, how things are, you know, things are done different. That is a huge awakening already. And sometimes I feel like even that education is enough for us to see, maybe the way that we're doing things isn't necessarily the best way.
And she's right. But, you know, those are two different things, the continent and the community here.
Because I think the community here is educated. I think we can take that one off the table.
Yes, and when you listen to my show, oftentimes I keep saying that we have to take it from here and take it back home in terms of the awareness and the education. But if it's not done here correctly, how can you take it back home?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That is why a lot of time people, when they get an appointment and they leave from here to go there, they end up doing the same thing the people over there are doing.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they are not, the work for them to do here, they didn't complete it. They didn't finish the task. They didn't learn enough, and they think they probably have. But let me just give a big shout out to our boy Joe. Joseph. Big ups to you, man. And we're looking forward. He has the whole DVD coming out, and he wants to put it in the Obama library. Wow.
For his son.
His son.
Right,
so that's something that we are all going to campaign for and promote. It's going to be at the event too. He's been recognized. His son, he's done a great job. Just putting a good. Representing the African community to the max. But back to what Gamali was saying, it's true. I realized this year, I was saying when this whole station came about, I said, man, this year got to be one of the greatest year for the African community here, and going forward, But again, and I know why you kept asking what type of education are you referring to, because really there's two types of education. There's the one that you acquire in the education field, which is school or in the classroom, universities, whatever, and there is the common knowledge one. There's the one that you get from communities. There's the one you get from families and friends and whatnot, and oftentimes that is where the problem is. That's where our feelings and all of that, our emotions and our mind and miscommunications get.
And I think insecurities too. And that was going to be one of my points as to what I think is not, I hate to use the word problems, but one of our hindrances. I've even heard something similar in the African American community, that when you become successful, right, when you come to this country, or you become rich or a star or whatever, no one teaches you how to manage that. And just the mindset of being even able to manage the success that we have here sometimes takes your focus and your attention away from the greater good. You've never had this type of degree before. You never had to work around these type of people before. You've never had to watch every single little thing that you say or be with such a culture difference. And so by the end of the day, you might not even have the energy to contribute back to your community, because you're just trying to keep everything together in your life. And I feel like some of our other racial counterparts have had enough time where they've been able to assimilate to success. Right. And that their success is not their hindrance for helping their community.
Brilliant. All right. Well put. We're still discussing the conversation we just had with the Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White, who just left the studios of WGHC 98.3 FM. We would want to go for a short break. When we'll come back, we'll definitely continue with the conversation. You are still listening to Progressive Minds with your host, Alinko. We shall be right back.
To Dubai, all the way from Nigeria to just go venture for Dubai. I travel to America just to go charge my phone. But the people are not gonna leave me alone. I said when money not take, people they carry me play. When money not take, everybody run away. When money not take, people they used to play. Say when money not take, nobody look at my face. Oh God, the feeling, the boy. The ladies, they want in the bar. When we go in, it's good and good. Many people will be your friend. When money not take, people they carry me play. When money not take, everybody run away. When money not pay, people they used to the play. I say when money not pay, nobody look at my face. Hey, you say me not the play.
Original, Mr. Flavor. make you spend them, brother. Oh, you make good it on no up for my sister. Oh, yeah, once in a while we supposed to be jolly. Oh, yeah, yankulu dance in my shady. When money no day, everybody a bubble some. I say when money no day, my guy you are the only one. Abruku to my man, for we turn a back and I tell you. Tonight you no flavor to my yell. A very papa one by your side. When money no day, one your boss on. I say when money no day, I love you, but no. I drink a and say baby, if you want to touch you, take on. Tonight you no flavor to my yell. A very papa one by your side.
The feeling, the boy. The ladies, they want that tonight. Well, I still say when money not there, everybody run away. Nobody wants to stay. Just because money not there, no money not there. Everybody come my way. People that want to stay. Don't be me, you go to play. When money not there, everybody run away. When money not there, everybody run away. I say when money not there, na. When money not there, you don't run away. Now the boy soft, man.
Welcome back to the Progressive Mind Show at WGHC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. You are with your host Alinko. Please tell us your name, caller, and where you're calling from.
Hello, yeah, I call from the Midway Airport.
Oh, okay, all right. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, this is the Ni Ajay Zodi.
Ni Ajay Zodi.
The first. He's the one who's calling right now.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, I just it's good thing that Jesse White came over there, and I appreciate that you all do effort to him to get over there. So that's a good thing for you all and Nana Kofi and everybody there. I know you know me, but I don't know that that's me.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. All right.
Nana Kofi know me very well.
I know you too, but I'm trying to put a face, but I definitely know you for sure, like you're saying.
Yes, I'm one of the king, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So it's good that you are trying to doing better for, if you get the leaders of a city, they come the show and everything, people were able to support you all, and we are always in your back. And since they started the show, Nana Kofi know me very well. And I always come into the area. And me too, if I see people in support, it's a good thing. We all have to help each other.
Right.
To achieve our goal.
Okay.
Yes.
So, since you are the chief one, the first, are you going to help buy some of our ticket and sell it to your friends? The ticket to our event?
The tickets are ready right now. I'm showing you right now.
Oh, yeah. If Nana Kofi approach me, right now, they never tell me anything. I hear about the show, about the day you're going to do the thing. I hear about it. They never approach me. They never call me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nana Kofi never call me. Kevin never call me.
Okay.
By this time, they should call me by this time.
Yes.
But they didn't call me.
Yes.
I said Nana Kofi say, I'll contact me.
Nana Kofi is a bad man.
He hasn't contact me by this time.
Okay, no problem.
They never call the king.
Yes. You are the king.
You are the king. Yes.
No problem. Right after the show, I'm calling you. It's not too late, Nee, so you have to forgive me for that. But I'll be calling you right after the show, Nee.
Okay. No problem. I forgive you.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Nee?
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Nee the first. He definitely is in support and he's encouraging the team for what we are doing.
Yeah, the tickets are here, yo.
Yeah, like
so
he's
get it.
Yeah, like he's saying, and so we're talking about what we can do as a community to improve on the current state of our community, and some of the things that we can pick from the Secretary of State. It's not necessarily the information how he came to give, but we thought we were going to get, we're going to listen to him, his office, what they do and all that, but rather is the wisdom, is his discipline, is his political ethics, that is mind-blowing, and that's something we can emulate, as a leader of the community. I'm going to read a few comments from Facebook. Martin Kweku Godoga says, nice one. And then Rachel Nasunu says, God bless you, Alinko. God bless you too, Rachel. And then Millicent Entry says, God bless you guys. And then Bianca Mason says, I agree with the positive message. Kweku Akanta says, where all right, that was just by the way. Do not forget to buy your ticket at Eventbrite for our second annual fundraiser and awards night at Stern Mansion. Go just look up Eventbrite and search for WGHC. The tickets are there. Go all right.
We have another comment.
Kweku, can you read that one?
Yeah,
Kweku
this
one?
is from Kweku Okanta. He says, greed and jealousy will always set us back. When someone is doing good, you have your own people there to pull you down just because they are not the ones at the forefront. A lot of successful and educated individuals in our community, but they are also afraid of the negative support from our own people. That was a very good comment. Kweku.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Kweku is also saying, making reference to whether it was Chicago or Ghana. And I think Dr. Gamley said it best that, yes, we can't. There are two communities, two societies.
Right.
We want to worry about here first, then we can take it to Ghana. But your next comment that you made, that right there, my man,
spot on.
You really and with that, I don't know. Are those the things we go to church to pray against? That greed and the jealousy and because I mean, for so long, I mean, you look at 3-4 decades that Ghanaians and Africans migrated to Chicago somewhere in the 60s and 70s, right? The lady I had on my show today has been here almost 40 years.
Wow.
Came to Chicago 1978 or 79. and yet he's talking about the same thing that Kwaku's talking about. That is why we haven't gotten to where we need to get to.
You know why? You know why, NK?
Is it education?
No. You know I'm big on that. I think the reason is that lady and her generation, unfortunately, I'm not sure, I don't know, but they didn't have a platform like this. Okay.
Like they were very isolated on their own.
And there wasn't a platform like this. I think what is going to start the next generation of positive Africans or Ghanaians and what is going to help bring us together is something like this. And that is why we're always grateful to God for bringing us a voice. Now, when NK was going for the certificate, I mean, everybody knows that he's been doing online. He left his career, left everything to pursue this. A lot of friends deserted him. It was tough. Because
it's still tough.
Yeah, I mean,
but we have good people.
Right, he only saw the vision, and you see, it's not usual in a community for someone to see. I mean, what are you getting from radio? Literally, when you have a career with
Deloitte and Touche,
like when you're making your good money, and your reputation, you're working downtown. How many people will leave that to pursue a goal which is not for profit? It's not yielding profit. Even now that we are here, we're still not making money. But you can tell the amount of sacrifice that he had to, the amount of pain and dejection that he had to endure to bring this. And I think that, God wanted to do something through him, and he's still doing something through him. And so he brought this platform, used them to bring this platform. And now, what the generation that you spoke about, we're not able to do, we have started, and the young ones, what we cannot do is to repeat the same mistake as the folks that came after us. That is why we don't have the community that we yearn for right now.
I think one of the great things that WGHC does is that it celebrates our success, which is kind of speaking to Kweku's point. We don't want anyone to give us negativity for our success.
Right.
But if we go ahead and highlight our success and be okay with that, then the next generation, like you're saying, will see that, hey, it's okay to celebrate someone's success. That makes me want to get mine too.
Yes. Looks like we have a caller on the line. You have reached the Progressive Mind Show. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Joseph. I'm calling from Joliet.
Hey, my brother.
Big Joe. I gave you big ups, man. The show was good. Go ahead, talk to us, man.
I wanna look. Most of my life, I travel all my life, But I try to find. I just find out that most of people, we are not so jealous. We are not so envy and this thing. But I find out that. Most of people, our mind is very, very sick. That's a very sick thing that we have in our mind. 98% of your mind is always lying to you, telling you that what is bad every time. Greedy, your mind is always greedy. So what I told my son, I have kids. I say everything you want to do, you write it down. No, you write it down and then you follow it and make your mind very, very strong. And I think that if we do that, that's going to help us out, because when we know things that are good and we write it down and we follow it, we keep on making our mind more positive to that negative things, because in the mind is already the moment for me, I just found out that the moment you are born in this world, it's always your mom and your dad are going to start lying to you since you're a little kid. They will start lying to you. Even they will have to go outside, they will tell you, I'm going to buy candy for you. I'm going to do this thing for you. A tooth fairy will come and take your tooth and give you some money and all those things. So when you're doing that to a kid and you grow up, when they grow up, it's all end up to their mind to be negative. And all those things. Sometimes it's not so jealous. It's a sickness that we have. And it's more than jealousy and all those things. It's a sick that we have in our mind, that maybe those research, they can go ahead and see how can we face those things. And if we can face those things, our life going to be more better than this. We have problems. That's the thing. People are not really jealous. People are not. They are not. Everybody have good inside them. But how to put the good in the top, how to know that your friend needed help, so I want to help him out without feeling like, oh, I don't want to do it because of what? He's going to go ahead and be somebody. And most of people do that. It doesn't matter if you are white, black, Chinese. Everybody have those. They want to be, some of the people will just want to be taught. When they have example like this radio station, look how it's helping all these Africans from here. It's touching even you are not African, but a lot of people who they are not African, they listen to this radio station.
Right.
But how can the African people say, yes, every month I'll sell $1 to this radio station?
Right.
Just $1. If we all from this city, if you sell $1 every month, we all these Africans, if you sell $1, that's why this country...
That is like 50,000 right there.
That's true.
$1. We are about 50,000 in Chicago.
Yeah, so just $1.
Just Ghanaians.
And we can do it. But how can our mind do that? How? How can our mind tell us that we have to send $1 to somebody? How? But we have to learn how we know that we can give all to somebody else. We have to learn those. Our mind have to be changed. We have to change it. But how can we build our kids different than the way that we are? How can we do that?
Right.
Okay. If we don't do it now, we're gonna have a problem. Big problem.
Joe, we'll see you on the 19th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And congratulations on the proclamation of the Will County on your son as well.
Thank you. My son is doing his meeting, a lot of people, and thank you guys for the radio station. You guys also put him in the next level for his future, and I thank you guys a lot, and I hope you guys would stay on for rest of your kids will come and run this radio station.
Oh, believe that. Amen to that.
That's what we want to do. Your kids, this radio station will reach a lot of people, and I think you guys will do it because one thing I find out, you guys don't do it because of the money.
Yeah.
But seeing that we need the money also to keep this
lights on and pay
going.
bills. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much.
You see the key word that he said?
Yeah.
He said he found out that we don't do it for money.
Yeah.
He's realized that there are people committed to donate their time, their resources. This guy right here, the day will come, we'll talk about that. So Joe, I appreciate the fact that you've realized that it's not about the money, it's about the vision, it's about the cause of why we...
I don't cut your mouth. We only come to this country. This country is how to learn how to give back to other people.
Yes.
That's America. That's the way America was built. But now it's getting more greedy.
Yeah.
So please, you guys have the radio station, but you guys also can change it.
Yeah.
Can change. We the Africans, we are here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. All right. Right. Thank you. And one key thing he said is the state of the mind. Right. Okay, so one thing, before I'm going to go into a few announcements in a little bit, but I just want to touch real quick on this one. It's very important, just to hammer down on what he said. Key thing is the state of the mind. Now, he also said that we have to start teaching our kids, okay, the sense of community, the sense of being selfless, and not just me, my car and my house in Ghana, and that's it. My car and my house in my community, I have to pay my bill and that's it. The donate button is working on our website. If you go to WGHC now, you can $1, $10. It's okay. You may not be able to come here. I say that all the time. You may not be able to go out because of your busy schedule to contribute to the community. But your $1 or $2 will go a long way in helping a cause. And so that is how you can also build a community. Let's stop being selfish and self-centered, and let's start teaching our kids so that we can have a better society. Now, the 19th of November is a night you don't want to miss. It's a night that will be remembered. The tickets are here with the stations. Well, it's called the Night of the Legends.
Yes.
Okay.
that night you are going to feel like a legend.
You are. If you want to be a legend, if you want to leave a legacy, that night is the 19th of November. Is the night you want to show that, and it's going to be at the Stant Mansion, and the address is 2408 North Kedzie Boulevard, Stant Mansion in Logan Square. Come join us for our second annual award ceremony honoring influential leaders in the community such as Dorothy Brown, Dr. Margaret King, the Alderman James Koppelman, wonderful man, and also the Secretary of State Jesse White, who's going to be in attendance. During this event, guests will have a hosted bar, an elegant dinner, and live musical entertainment for from patrons, high life patrons in Chicago. Come and listen to pure music. There's going to be DJ Andreas, my man. I salute you, my brother. If look, that guy has been in the DJ business for over 20, 30 years. Yeah. Like, he's a veteran when it comes to DJ. All those little bitty DJs, well, they're doing their thing. Everybody is good. But Andreas is a legend. And on the 19th, if you want to have a taste of what Andreas can do, you should be there. Our main MCs will be the legendary Nana Mafu. Oh man, I love this man. Gentleman, like, one thing I like about him, anytime it's Nana Mafu, his sports, like, when it comes to his sports, Ghana, we call it sports, like his dressing. Oh my God. I love that about him. Whether being traditional or what do you call it, contemporary. He likes to mark, and when he marks, you know that this is a gentleman. He has a show here, wonderful show, I think every Sunday.
Yeah, at 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m. It's a local show. He teaches the account traditional. He has an account traditional program where he teaches about the our tradition and all that. You can get tickets at eventbrite.com, okay, and just use the keyword WGHC 98.3 FM. You can visit our address here at Broadway, 4554 North Broadway, the 3rd floor, and look for Suite 330. This is where the tickets are. So you can buy tickets live from us, or you can go to Eventbrite and then search for WGHC and buy your tickets. This is a networking event you don't want to miss. For more information, follow our Facebook page at WGHC 98.3 FM for updates for this event.
Let me add on to that. If you can't make it to the event, nothing stops you from supporting us.
Absolutely.
That is why we have the website and the donate button is there. See, listen, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the Black Panthers and those that we know of, in the history of this world that made some great impact on people's life. When you get to be called a legend, it's because you've made an impact.
Yes.
That is why the company's name on this radio station is a legend, because we really want to make an impact. That is what got me from school to really pursue this. Against all odds, with the teamwork, a lot of people have really come along the way and contributed, and I salute all of them. Those that are here, those that are not here no more. New ones are also coming. The good thing about when you are working within your purpose is God always bringing the right people at the right time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And in some ways, don't ever discount the people that helped along the way, whether good or bad, because that's what got you here anyway. So it's not about the money. If it's about the money, after school you can go to an already established network and work there and get paid.
Right.
But it's about that impact that Martin Luther King and them had, that as a reverend was not really stationed. I mean, at a particular church. He was a Baptist preacher, but there was no church that he was stationed at. He was just committed to wanting to make a difference and bring freedom and justice to a group of people. And just like Jesse that just came here, Jesse White. So it's like, if people can understand the core vision and goal of this station, you would have the sense of joy to support. You will be, whether you are religious individual or you whatever it is that you were in, you support anything that is here. Just the simple fact that we have a voice. We were going against 100 and something groups that wanted this channel. And for a small company as this to be able to get it tells you that it's about time that we stop preaching and start doing
something. Dr. Gamali, the Secretary of State said something that was also profound. He talked about how kids try to get fake IDs and go to bars and drink, and
they're still doing it.
Oh yeah,
and they're still doing it.
Yes,
but what they don't realize is that, you can be hippie and or cool in your teens and go to college, but when you come out of college, now you have to pay for the price, because if something bad happens when you're using a fake ticket, fake ID, whatever, it stays on your record. And all this punishment that you have to go through.
Right.
At the end of the day, you are out of school, you can't get a job. Now you were saying, the system is bad, I can get a job, they have strings on black, the African, whatever, those things that we say. But sometimes it's our own doing.
Of course.
What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm glad that he made a point of saying that today. I think, for me, it's all about just trying to follow the rules and having some accountability when it comes to your actions.
Okay.
And I think that's an important message for our youth. And to be honest, even some adults as well.
Brilliant.
You can't blame the system if you are abusing the system.
Okay.
So as long as you stick to yourself, mind your business, and do what's right, for the most part, I think everything will work out for you.
Okay.
And you won't have to deal with some of those consequences. The other thing I wanted to mention too, being in the medical field, he did bring up organ donation. And I know we had a question or a comment earlier from Go Green about tissue donation. I just want to make sure that we highlight this point.
Okay.
Because even in my own personal experience, I've personally gone through having to, be a family member in that decision. And to this day, it's still a difficult concept, even for me, who works as a physician. So I understand, when it comes to our culture, our bodies and what it means, and even all the hoopla that happens over a body at a funeral and all that. I get it. It's ingrained in us. But at the end of the day, we don't take any of our organs to heaven. We don't take them to hell. No matter where you're going, you're leaving all of your organs here. And people's lives are literally being changed, okay? Someone who couldn't see can see. Someone who couldn't breathe. Someone whose heart was failing. And I can guarantee, okay, I don't make too many guarantees. I don't make too many absolutes in medicine, but I can guarantee you that no physician is going to purposely kill you or not save your life just to get your organs. It doesn't happen. And guys, I'm an emergency room doctor, so I'm all about the emergencies. When someone comes in after getting stabbed or be in a car accident
Or being shot,
I'm not thinking about, okay, I really want
Yeah,
this
okay.
person's organs. Like, it just doesn't happen, guys, okay? It doesn't happen. We do everything that we can to save someone's life. And even, God forbid, when they pass away, it's still a tough conversation, but we still have to have it with the families because time is of the essence. So when the doctors come to you or your family member, if something like that happens, don't think that it's because they were just waiting. Is that it's time sensitive. It's
Right.
time sensitive.
Okay.
And so I just want to make sure everyone understands that point. And if you're not an organ donator, if you're not donating, if you haven't registered on your driver's license, think about it. And then lastly, talk to your family. Talk to your family about it. Don't decide to be an organ donor and God forbid when something happens, your family doesn't know. Let them know your wishes, in whatever setting that you can talk to them. Let them know so that God forbid when that time happens, it's not a surprise and your family won't be a hindrance to your wishes happening.
We'll come back after break and so that you can throw more light on that
Okay.
because it's a very sensitive issue. Okay, you're still logged on to WGHC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station. This is the number one station with the most diverse programs. Okay, we have French, we have Ethiopians, we have the Indians called you the other time, Abi.
Yeah, they still coming. They're not here yet, but they'll be
and the
here.
Hispanic community called.
Hispanic community called.
And then the Caribbeans are already
here.
here. Watch out for the Elwes show. Okay, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. So we will take a few.
Shout out to Mausi and the DJ. What's the guy's name? Don
SB Don,
SB Don,
Mausi, and then Togbi Hodo Dio.
There you go.
Stay logged on to WGHC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station. This is Alinko with the Progressive Mind Show. We shall be right back.
fear what would you chill? No rushing. What's a minute to then? At to be the devil coaching. Now we aiming for one listen. Money no so anchor then. Into the major we go. Roman father so I then. I will buy some girl. One woman if so anchor then. What the my head in the bed. More the prison so I then. Nakada shemenyim palia enyi wonyami ayo baby bebe she baby na do tinta nada wonyami aso free so bi na wa ya te bi ni de so se no di po nti wo de to dan wo bi no ni na ni yinsa obi so won tumu wa do so de bi ala oda na nyami aso fi so won kwa wa di na bi o mother macho so I then Try to tell up yes, eagle to my yaw young with their sob and swimming. I will see your best to move on to the next. Will pass, forget until then you happy yourself. Yeah, you meet a making money, building mansions, you meet a getting married. Oh, you true. Who made TV about them? Could be we maybe I being buried. Understand? Depend the sebi, question 37 since you be so much. And they can't forget a photo Sunday you book on your baby. I bet it's Susuka. In quite be better since he got out. They were heavy and I am lucky.
De l'est à l'ouest, du nord au sud, nous sommes les enfants d'une même nation. Quelle que soit ton appartenance politique, ne pense jamais à la division. Méfions-nous de ces politiciens qui font la pluie et le beau temps et qui ont pour ambition personnelle de nous diviser.
Wonderful, lovely people, you're welcome back to the show, and we are going to be wrapping up this evening with.
Did you just slang it?
Sometimes I don't know. These words come out in all sorts of words.
You just slang it. You hear that G? You hear that G, right?
It comes out Americanish. It comes out Africanish. You know, it's a. But we are so glad that you have stayed with us for this 2 hours. I keep saying that. If you tune in, you know, every Tuesday, to listen to the show and to contribute, we can be more appreciative for your efforts and your time and your contribution. We are so much in gratitude to what you do in contribution to this show. We've had wonderful discussions. We've had the Secretary of State in the studios an hour ago, and we are talking about some of the things that he discussed with us and how we can learn from some of the key things, some of the key components of his conversation with us. In the studio with me has been Dr. Gamali on the stream, right? And then in the middle, needs no introduction, NK, who's the owner and the CEO and the visionary of this organization. He also holds a show here called Vulgar Voices of Ghanaians Abroad. And I think it's every Monday through Friday.
Yeah, but now it looks like my time is being cut off.
Okay,
now. I mean,
time is
I'm
cut off.
rescheduling my because of the betterment of the bigger goal.
Okay.
That's how we work as team.
All right.
So
we're going to wrap up tonight's conversation. But before we do that, we're reminding you, please tell your friends, your family, and your network that on the 19th of November, you don't have to be anywhere else than at the Stun Mansion in Logan Square. Stan's Mansion in Logan Square. The address is 2408 North Kedzie Boulevard. It's called Night of Legends, and it's a WGHC Black Tie fundraising and award event gala. Again, it's Sunday, 19th of November from 6 to 11 p.m. Come join us for our second annual award ceremony honoring influential leaders in the community such as Honorable Dorothy Brown, Dr. Margaret King, the alderman of Uptown area in Chicago, James Koppelman, and obviously the Honorable Secretary of State, Jesse White. During the event, guests will have a hosted bar, an elegant dinner, and live musical entertainment for patrons. We have a caller on the line. Okay, caller, please go ahead with your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, this is Julia L. Gam, your solutions lady.
Hey, Lady Gam, Lady Juju, what's up?
Fine. I've been watching you tonight. I really just want to give a shout out to the team.
Okay.
I can see you all are putting it through Progressive Mind. You are taking this to another level, and you're a great vibe to the community. I just love what you do. And I thought that I would just send out word to say, please thumbs up and keep doing this for our community. It is a great job.
Thank you so much, Juju. And I've been asking you to talk about the situation in Southern Cameroon next week. So let me know. Please confirm that. We need to talk about what is going on in Southern Cameroon.
Definitely on point. So you can cue me in for Tuesday next week, and I'm set.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that after the program. Okay.
And a quick shout out to my girl, Kameli, and of course, NK, I see you sitting right there and representing us as usual.
Yeah. You know, the fabulous thing about this radio station is like, we call ourselves family, really. We do. And that's the way it feels like. We are sisters and brothers. We support everybody. Juju, the solutions woman.
Yeah. She has a show here.
She has the Pillow Talks. And also, Pillow Talks, yeah. And, we are all from different backgrounds, but when we come together, singing the essence of having a platform to have a voice is very vital and is very important. So it's a teamwork here, and kudos to you, Juju, as well, and everybody's doing their part, from Juju Black Jesus to even the morning crew that we are still grooming.
Oh, yes.
Big ups to Ray and the team.
Right.
So, Juju, thank you very much. Yeah. You're part of the family, you're part of the team. You also add on, you also add on. So, kudos to you.
Excellent show.
We appreciate you the more.
Well, just reminding everybody to tune in to with me on Saturdays from 12 noon to 2. And I'm saying that I'm still rooting for that African Cultural Center. Hey, Progressive Mind, Front Row Entertainment, a Voice of Ghanaians Abroad. We need to team up and make sure that this is going ahead.
Okay.
And take it to the next level.
All right. Yeah. We hear you on that. Thank you.
Hey, so if last time we had Dr. Gamley here with Besties, MDs. That rhymes, actually.
Yeah, Besties
MDs. It has a ring to it.
It has a ring to it.
MDs.
Okay. So it's been a while since you guys been here. It's almost a year now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We will let her tell us a little bit about what is in the pipes for medical.
It was it was a good show, right? Oh, you're saying time is up. What? I was
talking to Black.
Okay. All right. Yeah. A quick announcement here. If you live in the Will County and you're looking for authentic ethnic produce, you want to go to Abyss Market. Abyss Market is where you can have this one-stop shop grocery and pay and also pay your utility bills. It's right at 101. The address is 101 West Romeo Road in Romeoville. 101 West Romeo Road, Romeoville. That is Abyss Market, where you can have all your ethnic produce and also pay your utility bills. If you are in the medical field and you're looking for a compassionate and reliable organization to work for, you want to contact Home at Last. Okay, this organization is looking for people who have compassion and want to take care of not elderly, but people who need care. And so if you're very compassionate and need a job in the healthcare, in the health field, the home health services, you want to contact Home at Last. They are currently recruiting all CNAs, LPNs, and nurses. If you also have a parent or a loved one who needs help in their homes, please contact Home at Last, because they want to treat you as they want to be treated. All right. The number is 495-1520. 773-495-1520. Home at Last is currently hiring, and you want to contact them as soon as possible.
And this is by us for us.
Yes.
All right, so time is up. We will give our panel here their last words, and we can wrap up tonight's conversation. We'll start. Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first.
Now, if you want to touch, a little bit on the organ issue.
On the organ issue, yeah.
Okay.
And then throw light on what Besties MD is doing, what your organization is doing.
Sure. So, first of all, Progressive Minds, thank you for having me here today. It was a pleasure to meet the Secretary of State. He was an awesome panelist, an awesome guest, and everything that he said, I think, will only help our community. Oftentimes, personally, I feel that within the African community, there's some work to be done. And so those of us who have been able to, been educated and get a lot of experience in life, both life experience and book experience, those of us who are making it, it's time to give back. And that has been paramount to pretty much everything I do. That's why I decided to become a doctor. That's why I now practice in the community that I was raised in, because I feel that I have to sow back into that community. And so that is paramount to what I do. One of the things that I do as well is a program called Medical Mavens, which we're currently partnering with the University of Chicago Charter Schools as a mentoring program for minority high school girls who want to be doctors. Unfortunately, a lot of those of us who, are minorities, we don't have examples, we don't have mentors, we don't know how to go about the process of getting into medical school or residency, interviewing, every test taking, all of that. So because of that disadvantage, we wanted to be able to start this program. So we officially launched last month, and we are looking forward to letting that program grow, hopefully to Chicago Public Schools and maybe even nationally one day. So you should definitely check us out, medicalmavens.org. You can donate to our cause. You can check out my parent company called Besties MD, where my friend, who's also a physician, we are all about women's education and empowerment. Dr. Chantal Stevens Archer, shout out to her and her daughter Haley. It's her birthday today. Hey, Haley. But we try to empower women through health education. So you can check us out at bestiesmd.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook. One of the big things that we do that my husband loves is called Water Only Wednesday. A lot of us end up consuming so much dyes and caffeine and sugars with all of these other drinks. So if you can just choose one day during the week, Wednesday, when you go to drink something, choose water. Okay. It's good for your skin, your mood, your sleep, your attitude, it's an aphrodisiac. It's everything. Water is everything. So choose water on Wednesdays, and then only. It doesn't mean fast. Go ahead and eat what you want. But when you go to drink something, you choose water, and I guarantee you'll see the difference. So you can check us out. But thank you so much for having me here today.
You're welcome. And thank you for your input. Please, thank you.
The #1 community building show.
Yes, man.
We've come a long way, Progressive Mind.
Thank
and
you.
I know visionary, they say game recognizes game. So a visionary recognizes a visionary. So when someone is doing something and you know you can help and you can add on, please do, in a positive manner, with the notion going in that it's not just for yourself. It's better if you build a bigger thing than just building a smaller thing. Although it all works, but when it's bigger, it's better.
Yes.
So coming up with the progressive mind, in the beginning I didn't really see where it was going. But it comes with consistency and being able to hammer on what it is that you're trying to achieve, the goal that is. And it's been almost a year now, or going towards 6 months?
No, we started
beginning of the year.
No,
now.
we started in April.
Sure?
Yeah, we started in April.
Oh, okay.
So April.
It looks like it's been a year.
Yeah,
It's
September.
It's like
7 months now.
7 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We're in October, right?
yeah. So the commitment to wanting to really bring an awareness to the community, bringing resourceful people, bringing figures that will in their arena will bring information that will impact the community and issues pertaining to us that we'll get answers to. I remember when you brought the Cook County judge.
Oh, Dorothy Brown?
No,
the judge. Judge Seaton.
Yeah, and people had so many questions about so many things,
Traffic courts,
child support, and all of that. And Dorothy Brown the same, and other community institutions that are doing to help.
Even the Abolition Institute.
The Abolition, yeah, those. So continue to add on, brother, and once again, it goes to say that if you are out there and you can do something to add on to what we are doing here, please. It's a family. You are a part of the family. You are the reason why we are here. Don't do it because of NK or Black Jesus or Alinko or whoever it is that's the reason why you come here. Don't look upon them, because maybe they might wrong you in the long run. You might not like me again, and then that stops you from making an impact. It shouldn't be like that. But look at the bigger goal, that is to impact a community. That's impact a personnel in the community. A community member. So if you're coming here because of me, great, because I'm a lovable person. I'll love you all the way. But right, Gio? But if at some point maybe that shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be that you want to build a community. Now, we want to add on to the legacies that our elders and great people in our community have already established, and they've done great things. And that is like Alinko alluded to early on, that now, before they didn't have what we have now. Now we have these Facebooks, we have radios, we have so many ways of communicating. So it's up to you and I, the generation now, to not make the same mistakes they did back then, because now there's no excuse now. So I told you early on this year that this year is going to be a very progressive year, very prosperous year, and add on to that. In any level that you can, add on to that. Bring whatever you can. You don't have to be on the radio to do what you need to do. You can be behind the scenes. You can help us. You can help us organize things. You can come together. You can bring information to us, like Dr. Gamley was just doing when we were off air, saying like, hey, you guys, we can do this. She always, from behind, pushing something and bringing ideas. And that is what we are looking for. That's what we God has given us this grace to help others. So don't look at it as Nana Kofi, look at it as Alinko, look at it as Black Jesus, look at it as anybody else here. But the simple fact is God has really given the opportunity to help people, in a way that maybe you can't. And again, I want to finally touch on the 19th. Please, guys, the community, this is a community voice. And it's here for us. It's here for all of us. It's our second annual. And this time we kind of stepped it up a little bit. We stepped it up. We really did. We really, really did. I mean, you're looking at the calibers of Dr. Gamley, and people are going to be dressed up coming out there. and we look at the meal, the catering that is coming out. They said something. I was going to do a buffet, like everybody just get up and get in line, go eat some food. They said, no, man, you got to look at it, the environment, the place, the ambience of the place, and go with that. And now we're going with the family style and the utensils and the glass and the place that they bring in. I mean, and you look at the dignitaries and the calibers that are coming there. Look
MC,
at the MC.
Nana McBrown.
Nana McBrown was supposed to be here last year, and still wants to come this year because of last year's last minute delays. And the senators are even supporting us. Last year, Mark Kirk, right? He was a senator before Duckworth came and took over. Wrote a letter for us, and so there's so many things going on behind that people see the vision and they're helping us. Let alone our own people. It's just it cannot continue like this, So we have to let God feel good about giving us this opportunity. We have to let God feel good. He allowed this to happen through us. It's not just me. It's a teamwork here. So I give all the credit to the team, to the family here. It's not about me at all. So please, on the 19th, come out, get your ticket now. All the community groups that you said you haven't gotten your invitation letter or whatever it is that you need to get to support us is coming. It's coming. Get your ticket right now. Don't look at the amount. Look at what's going to happen. And you're going to get a lot of networking. You're going to meet a lot of good people. If you come early enough, there's going to be I think there's 30 minutes to an hour cocktail hour.
Nice.
Red carpet where you get to talk to Dr. Gamley.
No, you can't talk to her. You can't talk to her.
My friend.
My friend. That one is secure.
God has already blessed you.
Yes.
I'm talking about network in terms of business.
Only WGAC can network. If you are within the network of WGAC, then you can network with Dr. But if you're not within, Joe, you are within. So Joe, you're fine. You can network. Yes, only the WGAC family members.
You get to talk to the Jesse Whites and Dorothy Brown, and still have some conversations behind, and get some informations and all of that. Courtesy of WGAC 98.3 FM, we're giving you that opportunity. So come and have a wonderful Sunday with us. It's going to be good. I can't stress it any further, but it's going to be really, really good. Again, I would like to say a big thank you to my brother here for adding on to the vision. Your show, together with other shows. I think this is the only community, because we have so many shows that are catered to specific group of people. Like Voga is really specifically for Ghanaians, and Ethiopian show is specifically for the Ethiopians, and so forth and so on. But this one kind of caters to everybody. Everybody in the community can benefit from this. Charlie, old school. Charlie, I salute you, sir. Johnny Woods. This man, I don't know him. I have to see him face to face.
Him one day, Johnny Woods.
Oh man, I hope you come to the 19th, Johnny Woods.
Please,
because we really need to see you.
Our really number one fan and supporter. He's always
it is every show. Every show. Johnny Woods. I know who he is because I know his family, but I have to see him and give him a big hug, for the great thing. So Charlie, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I will live it here, God willing. We'll have another time to really talk about how we feel, and God is taking us to the next level. We want to expand this transmitter, and the opportunity has come, but it takes money. It takes money for us to do it. So if you want to be able to hear WJC in your cars in the South Side area, in the suburbs, we have the same license as Moody, believe it or not, and WBEZ. And because